Hey guys, what's going on? Hunter here from the Wear and Tear Lair, and today we have the Savage 4.6 sitting here, and we're going to be removing the engine, and this is a full tutorial on how to do it. In the video, I'll be trying to help you through the steps with some pretty good details, and I'll try not to miss any, and I'll try to keep you guys along with me throughout the whole entire thing. We're going to move into how to uninstall the engine, and of course, first step, you're going to remove your body, so I'm just going to do that on camera here quickly. And okay. Alright, so I have a few extra things that I did here that I'm going to have to remove myself, so I'll do it off camera. So basically, we'll get into the real steps, picking out our tools and stuff right in a second here. Alright guys, so coming over to my Husky hobby box here, what I like to call it, my Husky hobby box. Cantilever. We'll go and we'll pick out our tools here. Some of the tools should be in here. One of them for sure is well, here's two of them. You're gonna need a pair of needle nose pliers. So we'll set those down, needle nose. You're gonna need a T-handle with an 8mm socket on the end of it, or preferably the T-handle if you can. Otherwise, you could probably get away with the ratchet with another socket. Just make sure it's an 8mm. And also, you're going to be needing a Phillips screwdriver. Here, in this case, I have an actual handheld motorized screwdriver. So that's all we're going to need for now. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the fuel tank, because since we're going to be having the car upside down and all that, we're going to have the fuel bouncing around in the fuel tank, and then we don't know for sure if your fuel line's disconnected or not. Just gonna throw this out there. I have these fuel plugs that I bought. You can probably get them at your local hobby shop. I paid $1 for these, and I got like different sizes, and I got like 5 of them maybe. I think that's what it was, maybe 5. Sorry for my hand being there. So basically, disconnect your fuel line. There's gonna be 2 pins. Just in case you don't know this, I'll throw this out there. There's gonna be 2 pins. There's gonna be that body pin there, and there's gonna be a body pin here. Of course, I have bigger ones, so you may notice the difference. Remove those 2 body pins, and then we're going to disconnect the lines. It's going to be your main fuel line, which runs from the rear end of the tank around to the carburetor, which is right here, and you'll disconnect that and find a way to plug it or elevate it so it's not below the tank. Now, since you can probably already tell that I have a dual exhaust system, different than what you guys might have. You'll probably have a regular tune pipe with a single output sitting on the side. You can just take the line and disconnect it from there, and then just lift your tank off and pull out. In this case, I have to take it off directly from the cap. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so since we're going to be removing the engine, I want to get this through right now quickly. Like, I want to get this done. Please make sure that on your linkage you do not forget to disconnect this piece of the linkage that connects to your carburetor. If you forget that and you happen to snap this linkage or pull this out somehow in a dramatic, very bad way, then you're either going to put your carburetor in jeopardy or your linkage, and you don't want to make another trip to the hobby shop yet. Alright, so you're going to need your needle nose pliers, and you're just going to gently take it like this, and you're going to pull to the left and kind of up, and it should pop off just like that. And if you would like, because it likes to try and fall out, swing it out towards you and then pull down and then just out like that, and we'll set that aside with the fuel tank just right over here. Alrighty, now let's move on to the next step, which is actually the manifold spring. That's what holds the back metal piece. Now, I also have a different assembly here, so I'm going to have a bit of a struggle getting this out. But that's okay. I'll find a way. Usually I manage. So, what you're going to do, I have to move it to the other side because it's set up in a weird way. What you're going to do is use your needle nose, clamp onto this, try and push this up against my knee, and going to be tough. As you can see, I'm struggling here holding the camera, and there we go. Alrighty, so as soon as you disconnect that, you can flip the car around, grab this spring on this side, and pull it through and out. Make sure you put that aside. We'll put it with the fuel tank as well. And the manifold is now free. Now, at this point, you guys can just, if they have the regular tuned pipe, you can just pull it off. So we'll move on to the next steps now. Next, we're going to remove the roll cage. Now, this is an option, so you may or may not have this on your Savage. You may just have the handle. If you just have the handle, you don't need to worry about this step, and you can carry on. But in this case, I have to because I have the roll cage. And so we're just going to take a quick peek at the back here. You can see I have 4 body pins. These 2 silver ones don't matter. They just keep my spot so I know where to put my posts when I'm done. And I put it all back together. These 2 black pins down here are what hold the roll cage actually in place. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments here, but I'm going to do a bit differently. But just remove your 2 pins here, and then this whole thing will pop out. And then after you do that, so I'll go ahead and take care of those. That's one. And a 2. And we'll set those aside after. All right, now. Next, we can go ahead and start with the screws. So you can grab your Phillips head screwdriver. Here I'm going to be using my powered one. And there's going to be 2 screws on the other side as well. And you're just going to remove them. Alright, I'm going to remove the other 2 and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so once you remove these 4 screws, you'll be ready to take this off. As you can see, I kind of went ahead and did a couple things here. I just had to take this out. Trying to make the motion here. I took this out and set this down because it's all zip tied and everything, and then hose clamped. It's all set up stupidly because it's aftermarket. And had to remove my fuel line, or my air pressure line, sorry. So now once you've removed these 4 screws, make sure that you do what I do and you spread your fingers out as you're pulling this off. And then it should come off. And we'll set that with our fuel tank. All of it now, all of our other parts there. And now you can see we have access to our engine. I've also pulled my exhaust manifold back a little bit. I need to clear my back plate, but we have a slight issue with that, so I kind of did it. Anyways, so next we're going to move on to the skid plate. And with the skid plate, you're going to notice, here, I'll get it around. You can see that clip right there. It's called, I think, what's it called? The skid plate holder, whatever. Anyways, you're going to go between the 2 shocks. Unless you have the newer version, you'll have big bore shocks, so you'll go to the left side of the shock. And, oh, here's my needle nose between. Sorry for the pet hair. It's from my dog. Go ahead and grab that. And as soon as you get that off, you can do that for the other side, and then we can actually go ahead and flip the car over. Alright, so once you flip the car upside down, you'll have access to your bottom skid plate, and this is the rear end, of course. Now, I just want to apologize for the weird mismatch of colors and RPMs. Have the RPM A arm on the right hand side flipped around, and of course the standard one here. The other ones they all got held on back order, so I threw this one on, and the one on the front there, you can see the upper arm, And I threw that one on up there just to get it out of the way. So now I'm going to start off here. We're going to take the 8 screws. You're going to see there's going to be 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. You're going to just remove all 8 of those, and then we'll move on to our next step. Alright guys, so midway through that, my fancy Innovage tool handheld thing, whatever the hell it is, it happened to break on me, and I don't know why it's not working, so now it's sitting in a happy old garbage. You can see, there, it's serving its purpose. Stupid thing. So now I'm using my fancy handheld. So now once you've removed those 8 screws and your 2 holders, you're gonna just simply pull out and down, and out comes your skid plate, and you should have the little metal plate too. And we'll set that here with our screws. Next, just flip the car back over here, and I'll be right back. Alright, so you should have full access. This is just a good time to take advantage of oiling up and greasing your diff. If mine does not seem stiff anymore, and well, it shouldn't really be, because I only have a 2,000 weight diff, but somehow it feels like there's water in here, and it's not really something that I like to feel, because I oiled this up pretty good. And for the amount that I'm feeling on my fingers, it doesn't feel, it's pretty oily. And that's not something you want in your differential. Anyways, so you're going to notice there's going to be 4 screws here with a hex. Maybe not, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, this is where you use the tool. It's your Allen key or your Allen wrench. Some people call it, wherever you are, it may be something different. We call it the Allen key here. And just make sure you have the right sized one. And I use a socket. I use my 8mm wrench. And when I have my Allen key sitting upwards, I take it and I crack it, because you're supposed to Loctite it. And if it has Loctite, it's going to be pretty tough to get out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take these 4 out, and I'll be right back with you guys. Just a quick reminder, if you do have house pets, and you have a carpet or something like I do, I'll even show you. It's pretty embarrassing, but you can see the dog hair all over, and like, you can see the pet hair. Obviously, I need to clean this up a bit, but stick a glow plug in your heatsink so you don't get anything in that piston. Because if you get dog hair in your piston, it's going to sizzle up and burn, and who knows what's going to happen. It's not really something to be proud of. But anyways, I'll be right back with you guys. Oh, and another reminder, if you don't have a carpet, take a towel and stick it underneath your engine, or unless your engine's actually flat on the ground. Otherwise, if it's sitting propped up, you're going to have an issue here, and your engine's going to drop to the ground, because obviously there's only 4 screws, well 3 for me, now holding the engine, because I just got my screw removed. And here, in case you don't know what I'm talking about by an Allen wrench, or an Allen key, this is what it is. Alright, so I'm going to carry on. Alright guys, once you've removed those 4 screws, you just simply pull out your motor. And that's basically all of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And of course, leave a like. Don't be afraid to request anything in the comments. I'll be happy to take it into consideration. As long as it's for the Savage 4.6, because I don't have anything else obviously yet. And I'll hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.